Hello, welcome back to Magic with Melly. This is a Melly Monday here on the Magic with Melly channel. Keep in mind that these Melly Monday readings are collective readings, so if you need a personal one, you're welcome to book one. Excuse me, you're welcome to book one with me personally so that you know that the messages that are coming out are for you. Otherwise, use your own discernment and judgment, best judgment, to ensure that messages that are meant for you are you. You know what situation is yours and what situations are not. So, with all being said, I look forward to seeing some personal readings come through if you need those, and I do crystal healing as well. But let's get into it. We have a Two of Cups and a Four of Pentacles to start off with the Giant Rider-Waite and the normal Rider-Waite. I have pre-shuffled oracle cards, and I'm going to live shuffle these oracle cards from the Total Divine product. We're going to talk about the Queen of Cups right there, and also the back of the deck being a Five of Swords. All right, I think that when we feel deeply about another, especially when we have soul-to-soul connections, when we feel connected at the soul level, is definitely deep here, and it's represented here with the Two of Cups. But there is some hesitancy. It may be related to commitments. It may be related to, is this my person? It may be related to having your guard up for some reason. It could be a layer of reasons, but just keeping some of your energy reserved or your situation reserved for yourself, because you do deserve someone looking out for you. So if you are looking out for yourself, good job. We have this Five of Swords, so I think just leaving behind situations, energies that do not serve us, right? And we're wondering, is this a situation or connection that I need to be leaving behind? Is this a situation or connection that I should be growing? We're really kind of considering this here with the Empress, calling in our intuition, calling in, getting out of our minds. We have the Eight of Swords there in reverse, and it's back of the deck energy behind the Sun. So just shining through some of the mental blockages that had been affecting us as of lately. And I feel like if that resonates here, I think with the Queen of Cups, we're really just coming to admittance, like admitting, yes, this is how I feel, and yes, this is now what I want to do about it, but is the time now? And this could be a decision regarding a yes or no. It could be saying yes to somebody, saying yes to relocating, saying yes to many things, or it could be no to the same types of questions. Saying no to somebody, saying no to relocating. With the hesitancy, you'll see and experience and feel what you need to experience, but just know that what's really important is paying attention to your reaction, paying attention to how things are making you feel, and what you can do to increase or reduce the abundance, because some abundance we do not care for, right? We don't want to be very angry or very sad or very upset all the time. That is abundance in the wrong areas. And so, like, looking for things to release and things to tap into more, and sort of the energy I'm picking up surrounding this reading. But I think as well, when it comes to connecting with one another, we didn't really expect, we sort of have, an expectation, a plan, and then they also have an expectation and a plan, and it gets kind of muddled or wavy or foggy it's an obstacle course, meeting in the middle. And I think this is what it's all about, the bittersweet expectations, you know, being able to overcome some of these things in our situations, in our relationships, in our work environments. Because when it comes to soul connections, I think that it's just the ability to acknowledge, yeah, you do have a soul, like you are within your body, and it's your connection to everything around you. And so you know, when you show up in the workplace, there's going to be expectations. When you show up for your family, there's going to be expectations. When you show up for your friends, there's unspoken expectations of, if you are my friend, you will not do XYZ, you will not, you know, be disrespectful, you will not be, you know, these things. But everyone has a unique set of like circling of what applies and what doesn't apply. And it's like, you know, like someone who's my boyfriend or girlfriend or significant other or partner, they would do these actions, and then would not do these actions. And my someone who is my friend would do some of these actions but not all of them. You know, like, do you get what I mean? Like, everyone's situationship or connection is going to have a different list of expectations, a list of experiences, and so on and so forth. But we're trying to figure all of that out, right? We're trying to see our placements, if we're meant to keep going. We're testing our intuition here. We're trying to be validated here. We're trying to get the lessons or messages that we need to help in our situations, our connections, our wherever we find our messages to be important. And so hopefully, if the beginning portion of the reading somehow resonates for you, I will get into the pre-shuffled oracle cards, live shuffle these ones. And then once we get through the oracle cards, I'm going to end on an update from the White Sage Tarot and see what's going on after. So let's go ahead and do the live shuffle and see what my friends in the collective may be needing to hear for their situationships, for their soul connections, for everything that's going on that you are concerned of or should be concerned of. What do we need to hear and know? And that's plenty of messages, so let's go with what's out. Let's go with these ones. So here we have this one wants to be read. Inconsiderate. Act with compassion and kindness. Be thoughtful and polite. It just feels better on the inside. So some of you in the collective may feel like you or another has been inconsiderate, and that you know, someone needs to say something. We're gonna keep going, and this is egocentric. Not everyone shares the same perspective as you. Listen to others, you may just learn something new. All right, this could be very important for the collective, and especially with the inconsiderate and the egocentric. Not everyone shares the same perspective as you, so I feel like this could be just unique to those who are dealing with someone like this, or if you are someone like this, being more self-aware that sometimes it could be a matter of like disowning a friend because they like disowning a situation or disowning a friend because of how you feel, and it's like you're not really considering how they are feeling. I went through this recently where someone was feeling really sick, and it was hard to separate my feelings from how they were feeling because it was disrupting me having a good day. Like, I was already having a bad day, and then they were beginning to have a bad day too, and then it added to my day being bad. And then instead of, you know, being at peace and like shifting my focus to, wow, now my, like, you know, nothing can be done about my bad day. I can turn it around and, you know, try and be there and turn around my friend's bad day and get in it together. But it almost started an argument. And that's the thing, is like, you need to be able to get on their perspective just like you want them to be on your perspective. That's like this weird thing of like, you expect them to always see from your perspective, but what about you? What about you seeing from their perspective? Have you tried that? Because that's like a, have you considered that? Because then if you didn't, well, that's what the inconsiderate is coming out for, to like bring in some self awareness, you know. But it could be just that this is a validation that like you're dealing with someone like this, or that you need to be told like, get your shit straight, consider your person, or consider the situation like in the bigger scope. Do I deserve to be disrespected when I was trying to be nice? True. You know, not true like you don't deserve it, but it, like, it's true that when someone is, when you look at the bigger picture and you think about their action and like how it triggered you, was the action as a whole a nice action, or was it triggering for you because it was related to something that was painful, like the, like what was good but it ended up in something painful, and you're just triggered by anything regardless of it's good or bad because you're so scared. Like, realize that sometimes we inflict on disrespect or a negative feeling because we're trying to be inward outwardly like protective, and it's actually not doing the thing that you think it's doing. It's actually hurting you because someone's just being nice to you and you're just behaving really triggered. We have wealth and prosperity flow easily to me. So just like understanding that your own personal self help and your self growth, it it attracts your abundance. And that's with this wealth and prosperity flow easily to me, is that if you're even here in this reading, if you're even anywhere in my shadow, like where I'm casting a light and you like are receiving my light, you know, like I think that a lot of people in my collective have positive things going for them just by listening to words of healing, like being receptive to words of healing and taking action on that. Addictions, think about the emotions you are trying to cover up, deal with those emotions, process, heal, and release them. It's true, addictions, you know, we go to them for escape. We commonly go like, well, when this happens I always, you know, go for a drink, go for a cigarette, go for you know, smoke. I always do this. Like, consider your vices and realize, like, go to the bottom of it. And it's like, not to say, I'm not here to say, like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Like, you are in control of your own life and your own body and what's good for you. But be mindful that what's fun is fun, what's escape is escape, and but there's like balance. And so think about what you're doing and weigh out like balance, like, okay, I am very, very, like, meet yourself in the middle where you're like, okay, I could be very, very healthy, or I could be very, very sick, or I could be right here and, like, yes, I am dealing with this issue, you know? And then you can kind of like reduce maybe your drinking problem or your addiction because you have met yourself. You, instead of escaping to here or escaping to there or doing this and doing that, you've met yourself. I avoid anyone and anything that leads to me to feel emotions. So I feel like this is one of those things where some of us are addicted to getting away, addicted to running to a friend, addicting to running to another partner, instead of doing the inner self work, instead of talking with yourself, or instead of meditating with oneself, hanging out with oneself to address these things, dealing with the emotions, healing, releasing them. Instead of doing all that, some of us go on a self-destructive path and aren't realizing that because you're maybe inconsiderate of where you are, inconsiderate of who you are, inconsiderate of like what to do, because none of that has like really occurred to you, I think. some of us in the collective, you know, a lot of us have been just thrown into adulthood not knowing what the hell to do with it, you know, thrown into life with no manuscript, no directions, no anything, no guidance. And here we are past. You felt belittled and criticized. Now you learn that it wasn't your issue, but the low self esteem of the one criticizing you. So a lot of times we get all messed up and twisted up because someone is talking down on you, and it's like maybe they are talking down on you because they see you figuring it out. They don't want you to figure it out. They don't want you to have things figured out. Some of us have that in our lives where the energy in our lives aren't really truly supportive like we thought we want them to be, or however you are seeing that, or maybe that's how you grew up in your developing stages, like with parenthood or siblinghood, like just being around this energy really has a toll on your own self-esteem, but realize that it is also like a projection of the person who even inflicted that energy in the beginning. You know, they have that energy and then they spread that energy instead of dealing with it, and realize that you could be doing that too. That if you are not okay with yourself, if you're not happy with yourself, if you're self-deprecating or any sort of by any means like that, you are spreading that. You are showing, you know, other little ones, you're showing other people, your peers, that it is okay that you are self-deprecating, and that it is okay if they were to be self-deprecating around you. You know, like as long as that energy cycle begins and continues, it's toxic. And so consider compassion and kindness. Be thoughtful and polite, because it does feel better on the inside. It's very true where it says that. Going on to here, it says body and soul. Paying attention that here with the body and soul, it just, I feel so deeply about it because a lot of us pay attention to what our body looks like and compare it to how other people's bodies looks like. We worry about, you know, how skinny we are, how chunky we are, if we have makeup on, if we don't have makeup on, if we've uh, how we dress it, if we are matching, if we are wearing the top dollar brand, if we are trendy, if we look attractive or appealing, if people like us. We worry so much about this with our body. But do we really fully consider, right? We're very, very, very inconsiderate of the fact that our soul lives in our body, and that we should be nourishing our body and taking care of our body for the soul that is in it, like us, we, us, you, your soul, like you are inside your body. So how you see your body, how you take care of your body, how you express with your body, what you do with your body should be an essence of love, because your soul, it's your soul. Do you love your soul? Do you love yourself? Do you ask these questions and really start to bloom there? Spirit of gratitude, and just be thankful that even if you didn't love yourself or feel yourself up until right now, or begin to be on this path up until now, thank yourself for carrying yourself until now. Thank yourself. Thank all the experiences. Thank all the everything. I'm hearing Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. Like, you know, thank your exes, thank everybody that's ever been a part of it, because it's just a little bit of more of like what like the blooming, it's ever blooming, it's a divine matrix. Everybody is kind of just in its own flow, it's sort of in their own little world, smoke and mirrors. And so a lot of things can be not easily seen because it's clouded by your own reflection, right? If you're like, imagine smoke and mirrors, like you're looking into this thinking it's a window, but it's actually reflecting back you. But you're supposed to be seeing like your soulmate, and it's like you can't if you're only looking into a mirror. And it's like if you're looking into a mirror and pointing out all the flaws, well, isn't that like, wouldn't that haunt you if your partner was doing that to you, just pointing out all your flaws? So just be mindful of like what you want to work with, and like kind of twirl that around, and you know, don't be so confrontational about someone's flaws, but more so just either accept them or don't. Accept the person or don't. Because the expectation to show up and be there, once you've gone to a certain point, is going to be like, would you rather feel obligated or do things lovingly, and so like, if you are seeing something in somebody else, see if you're seeing that within yourself first and work that out, and then maybe you working on this part of you will inspire your person to work on that part of them. And so whatever you want them to work on, you probably should work on for yourself to begin with. A higher view, that's probably the unique higher perspective that you needed to hear. Beautiful uncaging, because that's probably how you just unlock this unlimited, like, unconditional love here with you and your partner, because of just seeing, like, manifesting and like letting things go, like manifesting and letting things go, like just trusting that what you're wishing for is going to come however the universe shifts to be seen fit, how you see yourself, how mixed with how your partner is seeing the situation, and like what you're actually doing, all the actions, is all a unique formula of manifesting unique lives. I respect everyone's individual decisions and way of life. We are each on our own unique journeys, and my way isn't the only way. My job is not to change others, but to simply love them. So, one specific way is not the only way to do things, and that is absolutely true. And some of us need that gentle reminder of like, just because it's not how you would have done it doesn't mean it's wrong. And I mean, like, that's just that. Like, there's a lot of things that can't be changed, and it's like, if it's like something that has already happened, okay, you can fight on and 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 on about something that happened in the past, but like, no matter what, you can't change it. What you can do is just say, well, that's what happened, and now we could be focused on the future, on like how we cannot feel like this again, or come to this conversation again, or not come to this situation again. Like, how can we minimize the situation from happening again? This card says conscious focus. What I focus on, I attract more of. Starting with today, I will be more conscious of what I choose to spend time speaking up or thinking of. I will do more of the things that bring me joy, and see as more of these things begin to effortlessly flow into my life. So again, with like the manifesting and like focusing, just focusing on the future, focusing on, yes, I want the good in the relationship, so like let's focus on that. Not to say like you ignore or anything the negativity, but like release it. Today I release limiting beliefs, harmful thoughts, toxic patterns, and anything out of alignment. I am ready for transformation and welcome the shift. I am creating space for a new chapter filled with love, abundance, and amazing opportunities. Play. I am completely engaged in what I do. In the here and now, I call it play instead of work. I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. And infinite creativity. At any moment, I am able to tap into an infinite source of energy and creativity within me. Unique ideas flow through each one, capable of blossoming into beautiful creations. So just beautiful energy here with the release, play, infinite creativity. Is just letting loose, right? Releasing just that, any harmful energy, whether it's thoughts, toxic behavior, anything like that, releasing that and just being playful, being like free to do and create what you want, will bring you closer to just your soul connection if you're looking for your soul connection. But you can also just be connecting with your soulmate or your partners, your friends and families. Soulmates is not just romantic and intimate connections, but just soulmates is just that connection where you feel it from soul to soul. Like, you feel like from one person to another that you feel like they understand you and are connected to you in some way. And so with the play and infinite creativity, I think it's just all about coming to this energy with your soulmates, with your connections in your life, just being playful and creating stuff, making projects, making plans. It could be something as simple as doing a DIY, like a craft night. It could be like going out and, um, going to an event that you're interested in. It could be whatever you consider to be play, video games, going on dates. It could be planning projects, doing really silly stuff. Just know that the ideas are infinite. Poverty, 37, but some of us are limited in what's going on with our finances because we have toil and labor. Poverty, mature woman, number 6. So this could be read in a variety of different ways. Concern, 33, despair, 32, and 29, imprisonment. It's that some of us feel really stuck in our situations where we're concerned about, how a woman is seeing us, or that we're concerned about. It could be a mother figure that's having concerns being cast down on a situation. It could be also that you are a mature woman, or you are dealing with a mature woman, and that there is a lot of work to be had so that the family does not go or see poverty, that there is a lot that go on behind the scenes because of like wanting to manifest a mature woman. Some of us are masculines in the collective that want, their trophy wife, their beautiful, amazing, like, housewife. And this could be that beautiful, like, that mature woman energy, but that's not everybody here in the collective. Some of us resonate differently with what this mature woman indicates. It could be a mother figure, it could be you, it could be someone you're, wanting and trying to manifest into your life. But the main indication here is that the biggest concern is that we don't want to be living in imprisonment. We don't want to be living in despair. We don't want to be living in toil, labor, and poverty. We want more than that. We want more than what our family has gone through. We want more than what we see right before our eyes. Maybe there was an illusion behind this mature woman because you didn't see really the concerns until you're pushed into despair, and now you feel like stuck. Some of us are in these situations where it took a lot to try and prove to one person something, and it's still not shown anything to that person, and now you feel stuck because it doesn't matter what your efforts are. And after paperwork, or after some time, after a child, maybe, just like, there's very, very, very unique, very special stories going on here, and I'm trying to read it all with the cards that I have, but I'm really just picking up the indication that there is the need to be free from just the mental workings behind it, because the mental workings behind it block your physical, how you're applying, because some of us are stopping ourselves before we even get to a point where a proper decision can be made. The decision that sometimes decisions can be made too fast, or too soon, too hastily. And I worry about that for some of you because, with poverty, it could be that there's a lot of work put into just surviving, and you don't see the abundance yet, and you're just waiting for the abundance. You feel locked in poverty, you feel locked in this situation. But with things turning around, okay, we have wholeness, new beginnings, raise your vibrations, clean slate, you are not alone, possibilities. Some of this despair, some of this shit that is falling apart is meant to have you at this new beginning. As much as it sucks to have things, forcefully taken away from you, or things to fall apart, or to be in despair, or be poor, or have to work a lot for the things that you want, it's gonna be coming in with this new beginning. And raise your vibration, you're manifesting better, so you will receive better. And it's just this plateau period where you're like down, up, down, but then there's like this kind of moment where it's just like nothing's really going on, and you're like, all right, well then what? Like you get like maybe overworked or worried, you know, like if nothing's going on, like there must be something going on. It's like, no, equally as much as there's something going on, there's also nothing going on, and that can be just that could help you with understanding things, you know, just remembering the duality in things, and that can help you relax. You know, as much as you can get worked up, you can relax. As much as you can be happy, you can be sad. As much as you be, you know, like, so it's really a choice. Spiritual enlightenment, high vibrations, enhanced intuition, leveling up, opportunities. We have the moon card, wisdom, illusion, intuition, spiritual connection. So lots of you guys in the collective are intuitive, definitely intuitive by some means. You know, you pick up on things as hints or reasons for things to be the way they are. You know, you look at like the bigger picture and things, and you really do take in your own like guidance and spiritual guidance, or even divination. Some of you really are attuned to your divine powers, but some of us need to keep it more secret. Some of us are more successful when it comes to being outward with it. We have 101, Archangel Elamaya, success, new portal opening, miracles, protection, alignment, new cycle. So you may pray on this archangel, for this archangel, if you are needing success or protection in this new path with yourself, because it's this path to happiness. All right, and so you definitely want to protect that. You definitely want to make sure that you have spiritual, you know, eyes looking over you, because it is going to be meaningful. Whatever you commit yourself towards is going to be meaningful, whether it's another person or a major project. It's this element of finding yourself, whether you're finding yourself in another person or finding yourself in another hobby. It's that soul connection, and like you're like, whatever is going to happen, it's going to meet your expectations and blow your expectations out of the water, and at the same time it's going to disappoint you too. You know, like that's what I mean about bittersweet expectations, is that when you feel really connected, you're going to feel all sorts of types of ways. You're going to feel good, you're going to feel bad, you're going to feel like your arms being twisted, you're going to feel like your legs being pulled, you're going to be feeling bribed, you're going to be feeling like there's opportunities and rewards. It's like the longevity of it, the promise of it, all the beautiful good things of it. It's going to shine like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. It's going to be colorful. KAAA infinite abundance, all needs will be met. Okay, as long as you pursue relentlessly. Like, I love myself to practice who I am. All your needs will be met as long as you practice who you are. And that could be as balanced or weighted or as much of it as you want, as long as there's some measure, like the as long as there's some of it. Don't just be a robot going to your 9 to 5, wake up 9 to 5, eat, sleep, and do it over again. Like, don't be a robot. Like, go party, go experience something new, go find a hobby since you clearly don't have one. You know, and all your needs will be met if you decide to make a living income off of a hobby, or if you decide to just do some of this in your free time. I think that I just truly wholeheartedly believe that the universe will appreciate and reward someone who does the things in your personal life to take care of your like your well-being, mental, spiritual, physical, emotional, like all of that. Material reward, success, money. Because that is the real work that exists in this world. It's not like intensive labor in construction. It's not typing behind a desk. It's not any of that. I know that we do those things for money, but the real work in this lifetime is the work you do for yourself that makes you happy. The work that, you know, when you practice your hobby and you get better at it, that is work. That is the work that matters, not typing, you know, not these like weird mundane little skills that we do to receive money. So we need to be positive towards like every little thing that we do and show ourselves compassion. Yeah, I woke up today. Yes, I get to write on a piece of paper today my intentions and my goals. And like if you take every little micro action and grow it with love like this, you will be so amazed by just the transformation and the beautiful things that you will call in by just your energy. We have security, trust, loyalty, responsible, conservative, passive, depressed, predictable, protects, calms, relaxes, supports, confidence, peace, honesty, and reliability. So any of those words, if they resonate, obviously take them in because they're validating for you. But we have the last card there in the oracle. It says mystical, evocative, visualization, consequences. So I'm reading that smoke in the mirror card earlier that we had, and with the smoke card, it's really making me think of like just highlighting like sometimes we get very visual about like some of our fears, and that can have consequences. And I really think that you need to look at yourself in the mirror and see what you're even doing to yourself with like these haunting thoughts, because you don't deserve to go so negative in your own mind space. Work through your feelings. Last quarter moon in Aries, because how you feel isn't always the absolute truth. You know, you could be really triggered by something because you haven't met yourself. You haven't rediscovered like this yourself as a healed person, or like as someone who hasn't healed yet. Like you need to like address that unique thing. Take a reality check. This is reverse full moon in Capricorn, full moon in Taurus, detoxify. So just reality check yourself. Like literally the phrase check yourself before you wreck yourself, because there could be a detoxifying that you need to do within yourself before you make a decision about someone else, because the expectation that maybe they were a bad person or a good person, you might be surprised. Okay, if you think that someone was a bad person, you could be wrong. If you thought that someone was a good person, you could be wrong too. Or you might be right. They could be good and you were right. They could be bad and you were right. You know, whatever it is, go wild on this idea. See it for the, like, see the whole picture through. You know, test it. Test it the way that you need to. Truly, I mean that. Test the person in the ways that you need to. Because if you don't, then you're going to be wondering forever. These questions say, what was the last food you binged on? So you could consider like food that you would eat on a date, but just even finding balance on the types of foods that you eat, because some of us, our self-esteem is affected, or when we're stressed, how much we eat is affected. And so when you think about that, really consider, are you taking care of yourself? You know, are you, and when you did binge, were you doing it because you were trying to punish yourself, or were you rewarding yourself? Because binging can be one of two. It could be one of those two things. It could be rewarding, or it could be punishment. And find a new balance for that. Would you change your name, and what to? So that's an important question, because some of us are trans, some of us are looking to be married and would or would not change our names. Some of us have never liked our names and name ourselves something else. And so that could be just a highlight to know that this reading is yours if you resonate with any of that. But we also have name the one bad quality you can tolerate in a partner. So consider these things too, that if you have something that you're not liking, consider if you, whether or not you can tolerate it. You know, how much of it can you tolerate it? Because some things with unconditional love or and things like that is that you accept it, but it doesn't mean that you have to accept every single thing. You can weigh things as tolerable, intolerable, like deal breaker, not deal breaker, and go from there. You don't have to be so flustered at every single good or bad thing that you experience. you can weigh things out and, you know, not be the one action decides everything. You can see everything all together and not just the one situation. And it could be really hard, especially if you feel very strongly in the one situation and it kind of overshadows everything else. Be mindful that breaking things off, once you have that conversation or that statement somewhere in your conversations, it can be very heartbreaking. And so sometimes it's a matter of seeing what you need to see behind the scenes and making your decision behind the scenes before you bring it forward. You know, like working that out, like, you know, not only together but also working that out as an individual, like, and not bringing certain things to your partner because some things are actually harmful to them. So if you're invisible for a day, what is the first thing you would do? Consider what type of a person you are. Would you set up a romantic date? Would you play a joke on somebody? Would you try and validate something? Would you be a sneak? Would you be a criminal? Would you be a good person? Would you do a mixture of everything? If you had to cut one friend out of your life, who would it be? Okay, this one, when this card came out, if you have anyone on your mind, cut them out. Because the fact that they are even on your mind, that should tell you enough. You know, because they're probably showing you toxic behaviors, like they put you there somehow. So maybe ruminate more closely, you know, more focused on intention, and really focus on how you feel versus how you've been avoiding hurting them. You know, like, just really only focus on how you feel, and then reconsider, would you still cut out that friend? um just the fact that they're even on a list in response to this question should tell you a lot, is what I'm indicating. And so give yourself time to weigh out, you know, truly how you feel, you know, without considering how they would feel, because a lot of us, our decisions are mixed on both how you feel and based on how someone else feels. But ultimately, your decisions are your own. Your decisions are reflect for you. And so sometimes you have to remove other energies and opinions and thoughts and feelings from the picture in order for things to fully work out the way that we intend or want them to be. If you want to be happy, and you find that you have someone that you think of that, like, you could or would cut out, then you probably should, by for some reason. And it's like, if you then ruminate on the feelings or the reasons and you still come to the same decision, then you should then press go. But then you can then ruminate on the same ideas, some of us, and also decide no, that it was a miscommunication or misunderstanding, or, you know, some other thing. But with the cutting friends out, you just really see if they had done anything to warrant that, or if you're triggered by this or that or this or that, and maybe see if they're going through something and it's preventing them from showing up properly, because you never know what they're going through. What is your definition of a perfect life? It says, what's the last lie you told? What do you consider your best physical feature? What's your biggest pet peeve? What trait do you envy in others? The last lie you told, that card really realize, like, if you consider, like, okay, what was the last lie I told? Was it important? Did you need to do that? Who was the lie to? Did that person deserve that? Like, what was the lie for, and what was it? Was it worth it? Can it catch up to you? And, like, why? Like, really, why? I don't really ever understand lying. It really feels like a manipulative tactic, if you ask me. But like, you could be protective, but there's other ways you could protect without lying, like just not saying a damn thing. What do you consider your best physical feature? So improving our self-esteem could be just affirming like the things that you do know that you like, and your biggest pet peeve, just being self-aware of the things that you don't like so you know what to avoid, so when you do see it you're like, well, okay, I seen what I need to see. I know I don't like that, and I just seen that, so I know I don't like this, person, or I know that there's gonna be some amount of time where I am disturbed or uncomfortable. What trait do you envy in others? And I know that enviousness is just truly like you want to be more like them, and so whatever you see in someone else that you're like envious about, just do more for yourself to have that. If someone's really fit and you're envious of them, then go work out at the gym. If someone has a lot of money and you are envious about that, then find yourself a job, like a job that pays you well enough. Like, find the means to get yourself what you want, manifest what you want. Instead of being envious and jealous, show yourself the love that you want so you can have what you want. And that's gonna be all the oracles. I'm trying to get out of here on this reading with this sage, with the sage tarot. So let's see now what's up with the collective for what's going on with Melly Monday. So I have the Page of Wands, Ace of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Seven of Cups reverse, the Moon, and back of the deck, the Tower reverse. The Tower reverse is indicating to me, yes, that energy of renewal, right? When we see the Tower card, it's like shit falling apart because the foundation wasn't strong enough, the security, the stability was not strong enough. But seeing the Tower reverse here as back of the deck energy, it's just all of this shit falling apart is behind us now. And it's this rebuilding energy, this enthusiastic, motivational, positive energy. With this Page of Wands, fresh energy, Page of Cups, fresh energy just towards building, Ace of Swords, communicating and grounding from a standpoint of wisdom, of that you've been here, you've been there, you've been here, you've been there, you know better because you've been there. And so now with the Seven of Cups, you know what not to choose. You know what not to lean towards. You know what to hide away from. You have that intuitive, like, experience based off of the dark. Just you have that experience so that you know, like, how to see through things. Like, you have this unique scope because of what you've gone through. And so now when you rebuild your foundation, it's going to be stronger. You have this High Priestess. You have your intuition now, which is something that you didn't really tap into before. But now that you are recognizing who the fuck you are, and you are tapping into who the fuck you are, that power, you definitely got more connecting to do in terms of where you're leading yourself to, and the instruments and resources and things like those are all tools along the way. But it's just this adventure with yourself, this connecting with self, this connecting with everything around you in a new way that you hadn't before because of your intuitive abilities, things that you've seen, how you carry yourself and want to help people or show people certain things, like just your energy and how it applies is different than who you were before. And it's not a bad thing. And while certain things were trying to cut you down and cut you apart, they didn't. And now you have not only pieces to put back together, but you have like an update, right? You have like the chance to update the pieces. like you have a reason to go out and, you know, be in the market for more, or, you know, purchase more, or like look for more, buy more, like however you want to see that. You have room for it now. And so just don't worry about like the dark shit that you're seeing. You're meant to see it so you could do stuff about it. You're seeing it so that whatever you do about it guides you one way or another, closer to some sort of purpose. I think that the tower is the universe shifting you away from something that you chose that wasn't like, it's like it brought you closer to your purpose, but it's not exactly your purpose. So once it served the purpose of bringing you closer to your purpose, the universe shifted it away. Like it just kind of was like, all right, it did the thing, they learned the lesson, you know, now it's the next lesson, and like kind of quickly shifted certain things away. And so with some of that kind of dissipating and diminishing wherever you are feeling in that specific notion, things will be clearing, and your decision making will be adjusted according to your new wherever you are at. You know, how much you love yourself, the universe will mirror that. How much you hate yourself, the universe will mirror that. How much you want better for yourself, the universe will mirror that. And so our past selves, there's a lot of energies of we're letting go of our past selves where we thought and felt less, right? And so things that we built on an energy like that, where we felt less and expressed less and did less, all of the things we built on that tower, that's what's being pushed away. That's what's being just cast out. And this is all this fresh energy based off of you currently. So just let it happen. Let your feelings guide you. Let your intuition guide you. Let services and others of light and love guide you. I hope this reading pushed forward some sort of meaning, wherever the placement is appropriate for you guys, whether it's helping you decide a yes or no, or rest, or work more, or pressing on some questions that we needed to ask. Whatever it may have been, I just hope that you guys are all doing your best out there, because I'm doing my best. I know that life can get really hard. The last week or two has been definitely not expected. Lots of good, lots of bad, and a lot of balancing on my part in between. And that's some work that I'm happy to share, is like, I acknowledge is hard, and that's why I feel very passionately about, you know, being here and helping you guys at least understand a little bit more on, you know, it could be very specific or not specific, but just understanding a little bit more about what to do. Anyway, I feel like now I'm just ending on a long tangent. Thank you for being a part of today's reading. There will be another reading on Thursdays every week, and I'll also see you every Mondays. And I post a lot on Instagram. If you'd like to meet me there ever, we can connect on there a whole lot. And absolutely, until next time, carpe diem. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Goodbye.